Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Nilaus and I am enjoying this game so immensely. So I am super happy that you are enjoying it as well and following along on this series. It's such a great opportunity to be able to play this game and just have people just so engaged and just motivated to keep watching it. So that's super amazing, and I have some great designs for you that we're going to be working on today, and that's kind of where we are. I'm really happy with this base. Right when we at the end of the last episode, how much we actually got done and how nice this base is now. Now at this point I can really feel, all right, this base is working. I have hooked all of these up. I just did that off camera so that we have things coming in here just slowly, but they are. Oh, let's do this so we can see there slowly. We can grab all of the things that we need here, and that is glorious because we are going to need a lot of materials as well. The first thing we want to do is, if you've seen the title or the blueprint, the thumbnail, then we are going to look at a purple science. Now I did already have a video about purple science, and it was a pretty damn good design. Unfortunately, that good design was a good design without any proliferation on it, and we do need to have proliferation on our design, specifically something as expensive as purple science. So it's really important that we make something new with purple science with that. So what we're going to do is we are going to start by pasting down a blueprint. I actually just want to make sure that I'm topped up on power because we are going to need a lot of power for this. I've of course prepared a bit in advance. So we're going to take our previous purple science build. It is a monster build, so there's no way that I can build this on my previous planet. You will need a place that doesn't have water to build it, or lava for that matter. And I'm going to be stamping this one down. Now, if you want to see how I designed it and the whole purpose of it, then then I have a video, and I'm going to link it in the top right hand corner right now. So you can go take a look at the specific designs. What I'm going to do now is I am simply going to stamp it down, and then we'll be making some adjustments to add proliferation to it. And so this is now completed. That was a quick little build, and as you can probably see, there are a number of things that I want to highlight about this before we sort of go in. The first thing is the basic design is you will request very, very basic things that you are not going to run out of. Sulfuric acid is considered a basic thing because you can mine it from just oceans generally, but I don't want to request stuff like plastic or graphene or nanotubes or processors, because those are things that will be used by many other processes, and because they're used by many other processes, there's a really big chance that suddenly you run out, and that means suddenly our science will run out because either plastic, graphene, carbon nanotubes, processors, any of those things run out. In this case, we are not going to run out of iron, copper, and silicon, and if we are, then that's a much bigger problem. So this is why I'm building this like it. What you can also see is that for the keen eye at the observer, you can sort of follow the process down here. This is from this point here, we are mainly getting the oil inbound, and the oil is going in here and building into the normal plasma, and that's only to get the light oil. The hydrogen goes back, which means we'll have a generate a surplus of hydrogen. The light oil plus the graphite comes in and becomes plastic. The plastic is moving on to further down the line. We are making some graphene out of the sulfuric acid and the graphite as well. This plastic here is also graphite. Yes, that's coming in. And then the carbon nanotubes, that's the graphite plus the titanium we're also getting in. So that means we have the plastic moving in and the carbon nanotube are coming here beyond, and then we're supplementing with the stuff we need before the processors plus the what's it called? It's called silicon is moving through here, through these filtered ones, and then spreading out and becomes silicon crystals, which will then be made into silicon crystals, carbon nanotube, and the plastics, and they'll go in here together with the processors, and they'll form the basis of our purple science. Now, if you are extremely familiar with the design I made previously, then you will also notice that this is actually not quite the same one. How about that? Well, but I've made some slight adjustments so that it's easier for us to add these proliferation in it, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start by making proliferation. The only place we have available here is there's one location here, which is absolutely brilliant. You could use that for warpers, but that's not what we're going to do it for. We are going to use it for... Oh yeah, maybe I can actually go a bit closer, can I? Yeah, there. And then I am going to go out here, and we are going to make a separate line here. That will be right there. The idea of this is it goes directly in, and then I'll have a line on this side and that side at ground level, and then whenever we want to do some proliferation, then we can just raise it up from here. That is the basic intention, and this should be pretty simple. And I want to do all of the inputs. I want those to be proliferated so we can have a look at it. So this is the oil input, and it comes in here and gets spread out to those locations. So it has to be proliferating here. I need to make sure that there's a spot where I can reach it from the side. Tap, tap. That should be good. No, that's not good. It has to be out here. So I'm going to take... And also another little point is everything here is made with blue belts. Yeah, I'm making it with blue belts. Okay, that's it. I'm making it with blue belts. What I'm also going to do is here. This will be 2 more things that we can proliferate. That one and that one. So they go in here, and that means again we'll have... I wish I could take that. And from this location, I'll go over, and this goes in here and taps these 2. So what we now have is the oil is being proliferated, yes, and the light oil that comes out will be proliferated, yes. The hydrogen that goes back will not be proliferated because I don't care. And also the other part is going to be... That's actually coming from here. That's actually kind of funny that I did that. I could also just have taken it, proliferated right here. Couldn't I? That would actually be probably easier, neater. Anyway, we're going to do it at this point. That is fine. Then we have this output, which I don't care about, but I do care about the inputs here. And we also should make sure that these 2 outputs are also going to get their fair share of proliferation. So move it there. And then we kind of have to keep track of it. So all the inputs for the plastic is proliferated, but not the output of the plastic. This is the graphite moving on, going in here and going around, and then looping back. So that is already because it's being proliferated there. Then we need the output of this part, which is going to be another matter entirely, which will go out here. You can see the titanium comes down here, and that passes... That one just splits, and then here it passes through. So this is where there's just a fortunate amount of space right there to make sure that the graphene is also being proliferated in here. And then we can connect things together from this in here, and that one, and all the way over to... Why not? There, that location. Does that look right? This is 2 inputs. The sulfuric acid, where's sulfuric acid coming from? That is coming from out here. That must be the sulfuric acid on this belt, and then titanium on that belt. So that's proliferated there. The other one is the plastic. No, sorry, the graphite, which is good. And then we go over to this location. Then we get into carbon nanotubes. Titanium, we got that proliferated at the very beginning, and we have the graphite coming in right there, and that gets... Yeah, this gets proliferated before it goes into this and spreads out. Yeah. It's complicated. And then the carbon nanotube and the plastic gets proliferated at this location. That's good. And here comes a bit of a kink. Since I have built this as a direct insertion, there's no way for me to make this proliferated in terms of inputs. But I can make the output proliferated because I'm getting the output right here. So I can do this one can be getting its little proliferation. If I do here, then it's probably going to work. And then I also need the output of the crystals and the output of the crystals, so that's also something that needs to go. And that means over on this one we have another little one, tap tap, and goes from our design here and go in, and from this side go that way. That means now we have the crystal silicon is proliferated. Crystal silicon, the carbon nanotubes, and the plastic were proliferated before, so that goes out. Now I need to make sure that the fiber optic thingy particle broadband is also proliferated. That is going here. And we do not have a way to... Do we have the proliferation already of... Yeah, we do already have the proliferation of the processors that is going on there. So that is all of it going in. Now, there is another question. Do you proliferate the outputs? Yes, no. There's an argument for it and there's an argument against it. I think that generally I will do that, but I can also... Yesterday, 500 people tried to convince me that it was not necessary. And I must admit that I think it's correct. The correct thing is not to proliferate outputs because you might not need the proliferation. And if you don't need it, then there's no reason to have it. And if you do need it, then you are going to be proliferating it as input anyway. You can't double proliferate things, so that's kind of okay. Right, so this is it. But now all of these were built at ratio, but now they're not built at ratio because right now I'm making 20%. That means a lot of the processes in here will just be idling, but the end result is still that I'm getting 20% more of the materials to make purple science. So I am actually going to extend this a bit so that we can build a third tower, so we can actually build a bit more. That one, and then I'll take here and make sure that there's a bit of space in between. Yep. And build another power pole here. And instead of having these 10 high, 1, 2, 1, 2, then we are actually going to make them all 8 high, because then if they're 8 high, then that's 24, and that's 20% more than 20. Ha, there we go. And the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this gets request some. So let get in, and then we'll be testing to see if it works. Local demand. I'm not going to do anything else until we have this one, this inbound, because we need to make sure that we have this flowing, and I hope that it works, and I will just let it go and I'll see if it works. Here comes the spray, looking good, and it comes out, and then let's see if it actually spreads out. It spreads out and it spreads evenly to both sides. Obviously, that's why belts are not fully saturating. They will be saturating all of these locations, and by the time they're saturated, we can now... Oh wow, look at that. We're actually burning through all of this, and we can now start requesting some things in here. I'm going to request this from the other planet, and I'm going to request this from the other planet. And here's the kicker. They're not actually getting in because I don't have that yet. That means I need to go over and reverse, make some crude oil and some sulfuric acid available at my first planet in order for us to get this inbound. That should be a neat little thing. That's I'll just go do that. Alright, so here at this planet, I've decided to put down another interstellar logistics station, and this will also reveal another issue we have and something we can fix while we are here. Well, not fix, but start the fix of this. We are going to request some of this and some of that. We'll take about 5,000. That seems like a good number to request, so I am going to take... it is going to local demand and global supply or remote supply. So those two will fill up. What I'm also seeing now is here I have set up some provide of electric motors, and I'm going to delete that. Then I'm also set up some provide of electromagnetic turbines. Delete that. Those are actually quite intensively iron. They're quite iron intensive. So why am I taking something from a planet that has 72 78,000 iron left and start trying to produce something here in order to make that. That's also just not really a great idea. I think also if we look at this, we can also see that our yeah, I have 2,200 iron in the part that builds my blue science. So also let's conclude that the blue science is dead here, and then build it over on the other location as well, because this is very dead. And that will just be, all of this is dead, and the good thing is we'll build it on a new location. This one doesn't need to be here. This one's just a supply, just in case someone else wants it. And there we go. This, I guess this can also be just do the supply in case anyone wants that. There we go. And we'll get all of this out as well. There. And you will be requesting this. Good. From this is lacking in power. So that means we have now, since we're starting to run out at our home planet here, our old home planet at least, we have to stop exporting things such as iron-based materials, and we might eventually start to request iron-based materials. But this also means that we are going to request blue science and purple science coming in from here. Let's get 5,000 as well. That seems like a good number. I will be locally demanding it, or remotely demanding it. Obviously nothing is there yet, but they will, once they are there, then they will come in. That means when we start building our purple science, then they will be automatically requested here, and it should then also be automatically requested here. Now I'm just wondering if, oh yeah, it actually is already filtered. Nice, I had the foresight to do that. Great, let's jump back to the other planet. And we're now back here on our purple science build, and as you can see, things are already starting to work. We'll just put a few of these down here so we can view. That's close enough. We can see that the plasma exciters are working. They will go into the plastic. Plastic is working, and it goes over into the graphite as well. And the graphite 6 seems to be working as well. Let's not do this. They'll just be replenishing themselves. And what we need to see here is, yes, both of those are, yeah, they are both good. So we are getting bonus materials out. And they go out here. We don't have this part because we haven't requested it yet, but that's what we're going to do now. They are requested locally from this planet, so that should be good. And we'll get all the way in, and then we'll watch this one coming in. We can see that they're stockpiling here the carbon nanotubes, and the plastic is stockpiling. This should be good, and we'll get this coming in shortly. Let's see if we can see where they are. Oh, they're already coming in. That's great. And we can see the first things working here. Let's go a bit closer so we can see it, because for some reason it's always nighttime on this planet. You would think that it wasn't, but it is always nighttime. And we're getting, yeah, this one's also coming. It must just be coming from a bit further away. There we go, they're coming in. And it is actually proliferated, but it comes in on this belt here, just pushing through. Let's see if we can get all the way through so we can get some production. There we go, we can see we have the processors being produced, and we have the crystal silicon being produced. Crystal silicon is now going in here, together with the carbon nanotube and the plastic that we built before, starting to be making the first particle broadband. That is great. And we're getting the first materials in, and the first purple science is now being produced. As we go in here, we are getting it produced. This blueprint, which is absolutely amazing. There we go. Information matrix is done. After 27 hours, you can see now here how much... this is the one time you get to see my playtime, is when we get those achievements coming up, or not, milestones. In any case, this is... This is pretty good, right? I like this. The blueprint is available. It's available on my website, so there's a link in the description below. There, it may be under the purple science, or it may be under the blueprints from this Let's Play. So do mug around and see if you can find it. In any case, what we are going to do now is we are going to get the most important upgrades. The most important upgrade is the mecha core, so we can unlock it. I would like to get the universe matrix, but yeah, well, first it is more faster drones. I also want, where's the other one? There. More drones. Yes, indeed. More drones, faster drones, more power. We can't do drive engines because it needs a gravitational wave refraction, whatever. We're going to get some of that. We're going to get some of that to get more capacity on our flights. And then we're going to get some range utilization here. There's nothing really sort of tech-wise that we want to get, but we want to get all of these things. We can also get Yeah, that's the queue is full. Obviously what's going to happen now is this will be filling up. This will slowly get something when it reaches 400, because the minimum load of vessel, then it will be shipping it back to the original, the home base where we still have the science facility, and then it'll start working. So we'll keep an eye on this, but we will then now be starting up on our next project. Our next project is going to be starting to alleviate some of the resource problems we have on the initial planet. So what is it? That means we have a lot of iron on this planet, but we don't have, or we have a lot of iron, but we don't have the electromotors and the electromagnetic turbines. Those are made in very, very small quantities on the original planet, and we need to scale that up. So that will be the main problem or challenge at this point, is getting that built. So we need to start making the motors, the electric motors. I'm going to build this one up here as well. I want to make sure that I can delimit each of these planetary sectors. There. That is going to be one crafting area, and that's going to be another crafting area. That's going to look good. Then let's build it, and let's see. It's always, if you want to design something, build it. If you build it up here, then there is a chance that if you crush things together too much, then if you build it closer to, if you want to make several parallel builds, if you build it closer to the poles, then the build will be more crunched up. And you mean that if you can build it here, you can always build it further down towards the equator. But the other way is not always the case, and it's particularly bad when you're talking about building things with chemical plants and oil refineries. Let's have a look at this. This will be our electric motors. That is requiring iron, and then gears come from iron, and then the electromagnets and electromagnets there. All right. By the way, there was a comment in the previous episode about a mistake on this part. It's working. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But thank you for highlighting it. There'll probably also be some mistakes here, and then you will be. You can then yell at me in the comment section, and I'll fix it for the next episode. All right. So here's what we want. So we want everything proliferated at this point. So we want get bonus materials. That means this one should be making. If I make 12 of these, that means I'm going to be using 2 locations here. So I'm going to make 12. We're starting to build. Let's do something like this. And I want 2 of those. And I want also somewhere up here, I want to make the gears. So gears come in with iron on this belt. And then I get the gears going back. And then I need to get, this will be the motor. And each motor will need, now if I didn't proliferate, it would work really well by saying 1 magnet in is 1 motor out. But since I get 20% bonus product, then that's not working. It's going to be 1 in and then 1.2 out. Or if I take a full belt in, it's going to be less than a full belt out. So we're going to have 10 of these, and I'm going to have 12 of the electromagnetic, no, the electric motors, and that means I'll have 14.4 coming out for each lane. That means I can't combine them. That means either I can take the better belt, but I don't really want that. I want to milk this with the Mark II belts just for consistency at this point. That means I'm going to, and this is going to be a bit weird, this will be the 1 input, that will be another input, and this will be the 3rd input. Yes. And then on either side, I'm going to have iron, and I'm going to have more iron here. Yeah. So they will get a dedicated iron build each. No, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, they get a dedicated iron belt. Yeah. And what else? If I look at this. This doesn't... Oh, right. These are outputs. Outputs. Yes. So what are we getting? Input and input. I'm also getting another output on this side. Or, sorry, input into raw material. Okay, do we have any clue whatsoever? No. I'm going to put some memos on this just so that I can try to figure out what I'm trying to do. And maybe you can, with me saying this one and that one, then you can at least have a chance to get a sense of what I'm talking about. There. And then This is where things get weird. And this will be the return, the final product, and the final product. There. Why there? Why not in the middle? Well, because I need to I need to be able to go above and then below. And I can't go below with this. So what I also need to do is make sure that I have these belts properly aligned. And by properly aligned, I mean we're going to take this out, copy, use now, and delete all of it. Like here. Like how far do we want to make it? I think I'll do it this way. And then I'm going to copy this part. I wish we could, I wish there was a way we could cut instead of copy. There. I think this is correct. These are going back. I'm going to get some iron out here. And I'm going to get some magnetic coils out. I'm going to get some iron out here. And I'm going to get magnetic coil out here. And I'm going to get some iron out here. Oops. Come on. And then, what? Oh yeah, these are return. These are returning. Return. Return. And at this point, I will go to here, go up. Delete that so we can go further down again. And there. Now that is going to be where we are proliferating things, because this is the whole point of all of this weirdness, is that I want to make sure that I have room for proliferation. There, 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 there. Oh, the last two rotated. Why did they do that? And again, probably shouldn't be doing this. And I will do an output starting from here and go all the way up there. That's good. That I just need to make the inputs and outputs for these. I mean, I might build a bit too far away. I hope I have enough room for it. Let's see. Yeah, I do. I have the room for 15, but I'm only going to have the 12. All right, let's see. Inputs and outputs. Input, input, output. And then this is input, because it's grabbing from the one furthest away. And you are grabbing from this and outputting here. Yep. Input, input, and you are inputting from your own line. Otherwise, there's not going to be enough. And then we just need to get all of these lines extended, probably down there. That gets extended. That gets extended. This gets extended, and then the next ones are returning. And all we need to do now is then drag the whole kicking and screaming all the way down here. I'm going to take 10 of these, because then I will have output for 20. That's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's kill the rest here, so we don't have to build it, and actually trim it even closer. And let's make sure we get this. And that's going to be 10, 11, 12. This, 11, 12. Good. And then again, trim from the edge, trim the last bits. The one problem we have is, where do we get our proliferation from? And that's kind of still a bit of an issue. 1, 2, 3. We're going to get power lines. And I'm going to get power line up here. Yeah, it kind of has to be at this location. Wow, there's actually just barely room in between. And I'm still going to put the last one there, just for good measure. Alright, so that build is done. We don't have the proliferation, but I do have the proliferation up down here, and I'm just gonna leech on this belt. It does feel a bit weird to do that. Yeah. It does feel a bit weird. But we're gonna do it, at least for now. And then we'll figure out what we want to do later on. Oh, you know what? It's... Oops. Come on. Why are you not able to hit? There. Alright, so that proliferation thing is done. Because we want to make sure that the proliferation is done before we get any of the other things out. So I want 5,000. No, let's just do half the stack here. This is going to be using quite a lot. So let's get 2,000 of this and 1,000 of these. Get some drones in. Everyone's happy. I am going to request and request. And hope that we get the proliferation done before. Then we're going to monitor to see if it works. And if it works, we'll just make one more because we can make them pretty damn easily here. Well, the iron is also coming in. Yeah. No. Oh, it's coming out there. Good. Proliferation is working. It's flickering. And here comes the iron part. And that should be working. Nothing is going to be made until I have the... It's out here. No, actually, the iron is coming in proliferated. That's weird. Why is it doing that? It shouldn't be. Oh, it is. It actually should be. Of course it should be, because it's being proliferated here in order to go back. And we are building here. All... Ooh, interesting. Why is something of it not? Is it because of lack of power? Nah, power is kind of good still, but it's not going to continue to be good. And why do we not have power? Why do we not have anything going here? I guess with all my design work, I didn't realize what was the problem. Let's have a look at why this is not working. Well, it's producing, all right. And it is remote storage. This is not even at 400. Well, if it gets to 400 and we see it fly out, that should be working, right? Let's give it a shot. Maybe this was just the time it took to get all the way up to 400, and we were just incredibly lucky that we just timed it at this point. All right, so what am I going to do here? I am honestly going to remove all of this and then build a copy of this. There. Use now. And that goes into... Is that the right height? I think it is. Wow, it might be. That connects. And from here, it also connects. That is way too close to make it. Perfect. That gets done. And then we have all of this. We want to make sure that we have this being done first. I am going to pick up some more drones. Drones are also always the hard part. This is one of my shortcomings of this design. There. It's hard to find the stuff that we're looking for. And I am going to get some drones in here. They're already brought in anyway, but let's make sure that they have their own drones for this. And then we'll be starting to work, and we'll go there. Well, that's not it, right? That's not it. And I am going to look at, again, while this is building, we are going to take a look at our science. This has now been, it has left, it's there, but still nothing. So that means after we do this, I'm just going to get a quick zoom back to the original planet and see if it is, but maybe you already know the problem and I just didn't see it, where there's something that's set to request instead of demand or some other thing like that. We'll take a look. So let's jump back to the other planet and have a look at what the problem is. And here we have this very minor little problem. Set it to goddamn demand. Damn it. Damn it. That's so embarrassing. And I know it. I know that now that when I set it up, I know that every single one of you were like, set it to demand. Set it to demand. But alas, I did not. And now I pay the price. Let's see if it rolls in here so we don't have to do any more silly mistakes. And we got science going on. Well, the good thing is we built a little buffer. Now I am going to be with my tail between my legs in shame, flying back to continue with the last electromagnetic turbine build. Let's do that. So this is the view of our solar system right now. You can see that it is an immense amount of activity going in here. And if we just go out in real space, you can see how many of these little dots here there are. These are the vessels. It's brilliant to see how active it already is. We have quite a little setup now. Really lovely. And we are going to land. All right. That was one more thing that we did, and we have all of this working. Let's see if it works. Yes, it does. All right, then let's see if over here we have now, this one is remotely demanding. No. It's remotely providing and locally demanding. This is remotely and locally demanding. So I'm just rotating it so it goes the other way. Now we have one more design, and I want to make that right up here. And that will be the final design of today. Ooh, look at the lack of power we have here. That is glorious. And by glorious, I mean horrifying. It's something that I know that I need to fix, but I don't want to mix it up in this episode. So that will be the next episode, is where we will be looking at getting the hydrogen from the gas giants and working at a cool exchanger build. So it's already prepared, and that will be coming shortly. But in the meantime, we actually have to strain our power. Yay! We got more mecha power here. Great. We're going to strain our power just a bit too much, and then we are going to see. We're going to be working from there. Oh, let's see. Is this it? Yes, those are the two things: magnetic rings and stuff like that. So this is a pretty simple build. It's just one in, one out. So what do we need? We can make 10 deep. Let's do 10 deep of this. And then, yes, I'm going to build something like that one inbound. That's going to go here. Yeah. And I'll have 2 of these next to each other, because it's consuming 1 per second. So I will now, I'll be designing this from here, and then hopefully we can leech a bit of power from that location before everything comes crashing down. I'll be building, let's say here. And then I need an output of the electric motors going at this location. Then I'll have a return like that. This is only every 2 seconds. So if I have 10 of these, it's only going to be producing 5 per second. Plus the productivity, 6. Good. That means I'm going to get another one of here. And then you're going to go on that side. And then we'll have the last bit. Oh, that has to be on the back side. That's weird. But that's okay. We're just trying to steal a bit of power from this. It is quite obvious that our issue is right now that we're just burning through a lot of things here. When we get more stability, oh, there it is. It'll settle down. The part about science in this game is that once you get the science, it's not running for very long, and you will work through all of the science you can get very, very quickly, and then it'll be idle again. So it'll be spending most of its time just being idling, and well, that's just how it is. Let's see if there is room for it on this location. Barely. And that goes on the back side here. But then again, it would not be fitting if I didn't have a little bit of brownouts. All right, this, you can see there's 1, 2, and there is 0 on that side. So that means the whole thing has to be cut. Unfortunately, there's no cut function. But we'll do it this way. And let's just make sure, okay. Build it again. It has to be on that line. This is where it was before, so 1 further down. That should be good. That will leave just a tiny bit of room up on the side for what we need. Coming from here. And yes. Great. That should leave us room for proliferation if we look at the proliferation setup here. I can just build it on this line. I think that's a good line to build it on. There. And again, I'm proliferating the output, which I arguably shouldn't do. We're gonna need more drones. I'm gonna need more drones. Yes, I'm absolutely gonna need more drones. There and there. So that's the proliferation all the way through. That's not really working. More drones. That was the 10 drones. Now we have more drones. That should be good in order to get things faster done. I don't like that orange color. I certainly do not. Okay, inbound. And here I am going to do out to the middle and in. Out to the middle and in. Yes. And you will get from your own line, and you'll get from... Oh, that's actually just repetition. Here. Let's see, I need 10 of these. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Just a few more. Carefully. And this will be... I sometimes I just have to focus on these things. All right, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now it goes here. And that's tap 3 times, then it matches. Tap 3 times and it matches. This one, tap 3 times and then it matches. And we trim the edges out here that we just built. Perfect. Good. Let's see, and then all the last part. We're actually running out. That means we can get to enjoy our beautiful hub where we can just go in and grab stuff. That's so lovely. I mean, nothing compared to that hub. It just, once you have that, it just everything just becomes so much nicer. So I would highly recommend building that. Because look how easy it is. Just, if you need something, just grab it. Also between these places, I always go do that. And obviously we are not going to get it in as far out as possible. That one and that one. Everything is now powered, and this one's complaining again. I will be taking 2,000 in plus 2,000 in. And yeah, you know what? I'll do all of it. Demand. No, don't do that. Shoot. Don't. Oh no. Why did I do that? There. Should have done that first. Go faster. Alright, so tiny bit will not be proliferated. Don't care. That's just gonna be the way it is. That's gonna be done, and then will be requested over here so that we can provide it back to the old planet, and that will be that. Alright, let's see if it works, and just check it. It should be, once the whole thing comes running in, this belt should be a full belt. How to save? Good. But we're not really at the end here yet. Why not? What are we? Oh, we are actually. They are producing. They're just... all the top row is not producing. Why not? Why is the top row not producing? Oh, there's a bit of a miss on this part. Alright, I just absolutely love those stars. Those okay, we copied it without having the inserters. Good. Now everything here is working. This is working as well. It should be close to a full belt coming out here. Actually, it should be a full belt. Right. If they're getting all the stuff they want. Oh, well, okay, I know we are lacking on the power. But that's great, because that is going to be the objective for the next episode, is getting the power sorted. But what we've done now is we have now made really good progress. We made, yeah, massive progress on the electric motors, the electromagnetic turbines. Those are always something super annoying. This part here, let's just the numbers. This is producing 14.4. This is producing 14.4. This one up here is consuming 40. So obviously I'm going to overproduce the electric motors. But you know, when you have these kind of builds, you can always just stamp them down next to it. This one will run out pretty soon. How much do we have left here? We have 7,000. So once that runs out, I'll just stamp down another one next to it. But first, we are going to deal with power. But unfortunately, that's not going to be today. That will be in the next episode where we deal with power. I have some good ideas for what to do with the power. We're going to harvest some hydrogen. We're going to make it into hydrogen fuel. We are going to make a self-balancing exchanger to get that, and then we'll figure it out. Cool. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I am super happy that there's such an interest for this Let's Play and guide, and I'm having a blast with this. If you want to be part of the design process, then do consider coming over to Twitch. I'm streaming this on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 p.m. Central European Time. Also, if you, of course, you like this, then I appreciate it if you hit the like button. It's so amazing to see so many likes and so few dislikes. And of course, if there's something I missed, if you have some good ideas or bad ideas or questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll take a look at it, or maybe someone else will be friendly enough to help answer it. If you want to do something more, it's also a link in the description below to a Patreon site. That is if you want to support the channel in a monetary basis. I really appreciate that, but of course there's no obligation. Thank you very much for watching and for joining. Until next time, take care and stay effective.